was flagging. It was going to break out. And
Right.
next day, man, whoop.
And then
buck
beat
and then
down.
the gap down.
So if I'm not mistaken, let me double check on
we're
the
live,
figures,
gentlemen.
but, they have a
Right.
pretty high short interest. So I think that when they do catch some good flow and actually get some momentum is when those guys get run over. Yeah, it's 15.8% short float. So, not crazy high, but high enough that on those, you saw it kind of last week where it was like when it started moving, or what was that, June, I think it was, it just rallied. So, it is what it is. But yeah, just chop city for me over here. We're short the Dow still. I think I'm going to go ahead and kill this short. I had a chance this morning to actually book some gains, but not doing much, man.
I closed out my what do you say? It's Soxis, SO, the levered short semi ETF. That was a good hit. I didn't think it was gonna have much follow through, so I closed it out. I think a few people I still have Q puts for September. Because Joe, you were talking about that too, right?
I pinged you this morning. I didn't know if you were around. I was like curious to what you took, like for some downside here.
So just the Soxos, I don't even know how to say. I know Soxel, that's an easy one, but so I just have Q puts. I went way too far out of the money. Probably I did 490. I went for that gap, way down there.
Killer.
But I'm looking more for EV or IV spikes.
Yeah, I'm in VIX call spreads. I was messaging earlier with Matt and Cap today about where he sees some of this because, again, the hard part with like timing, whatever McElligott says or all of them is like he gives you a back test, but the current one's like 3 months out. So I'm like, what's the real play for me? Like protection wise, like how far out of the money do I want to go for it to make sense? And then how much time do I want to have? And that's always been the hard part. I'm really good at the intraday shit, but like the swinging over like 6 month period of time on the indexes, that's the hard thing, right? And equities is one thing, but the indexes is a whole nother beast. What I've learned is I'm better at trading vol products in the short term before the stuff comes than I am just trading straight up puts or something like that. And I think it has something to do with how they're priced because they're priced really weird. But I thought I was going to be underwater on some of these, and we're like, there was a time where I did this early on in the year before March, and I bought VIX call spreads, and I thought I was going to be buried, right? And then all of a sudden we have one big up day on the VIX, and I was like in the money green, and I was like, oh, and I don't have enough size for them to screw me. You know what I'm saying?
So this might be a dumb question, but why do you spread VIX calls? Because I mean, if you just bought calls outright when VIX spikes, wouldn't that
because the timing of it is I don't know the timing of it. That's the problem, right? If I knew that it was going to happen right away, then I would absolutely just buy them outright, especially if they're going to be cheap enough. But most of the time I don't. It's just like when I'm playing for like a gamma pin or something on SPX, right? If I buy it outright and it takes forever to get there, theta is going to absolutely wreck me by the time I get there. So I need to offset it a little bit. But that's just, my way of doing it. You can always play something else like a UVIXy calls or puts to go along that way. But from VIX, I've always just spread it. It's a pretty, simplistic risk to reward, like 9X. Someone just called us certified bums, Picasso Pendejo. Your name's Picasso. Relax, dog. I love the internet. But anyways, what have you guys been cooking? What have you guys been trading? Anything exciting? Brahma, I know you've had a hell of a year so far. What have you been looking at or doing?
Sitting tight, just try not to do anything dumb, because I mean, I don't want to give any of it back. But I guess the only dumb thing I really did in the last month was I was right with the circle puts, but too far out of the money. I should have spread it. I have no idea why I didn't. But I'm basically just babysitting this UNH. I'm just writing against it a lot.
Both of you in the UNH, huh?
Dude, we like pain, man. But it's great for premium. I've been writing the crap out of it, and that's been working well. Waiting to see what happens. I got to figure out how I'm going to hedge this thing. Smiddy, how do you usually hedge into earnings? I was thinking of doing like a month out for a little lower IV and then hedging half my delta.
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
doing like a one standard out.
I don't have any big strategy for what I'm going to do here on this one. Honestly, we're longer term holding this. I have the 300 calls for August still, and these things are down 60, not quite, no, 40%. So those are bleeding me. Those are really kind of killing me. So I might have to look at hedging those a little bit. But I'm kind of with you, man. It's tough. What do they have? What are they expecting? Earnings are on the 29th, right? So you could hit the August 1st. Yeah, it looks like that's about right, given IV. See, I just don't know. What I'm asking myself mentally is like, if I sell, so let's say we do that, right? Go a month out, even today, and do it, trading 985 on the bid side for 312 and a half. Like, I'd be pretty happy at this point capturing the almost 10, 11 bucks of upside and then taking that premium and just being done with the trade. I'm almost at that point where I'm like, do I really want to hold this for the next year? I'd kind of
I hate to say it, but that makes me feel pretty good now that people are getting a little, this shit's supposed to be back at $400 right now, you know?
Yep. And that was
earnings is going to decide a lot. I really think this
so.
Earnings is going to be, because we're in the year-to-date high VWAP and the year-to-date low VWAP, and we're just bouncing. But as good as it's been playing those ranges, I mean, we'll see. I mean, there is a lot priced in already, but it could dip back down to 250, and you know, who the fuck did it? Oh, we swear on here, Joe, or is that gonna?
Yeah, you can swear because I'm about to real quick. But go ahead. I got something to say to this dude in the YouTube comments. So just
go for it, man. Let it rip.
Okay. Well, we have this dude called Is Away To, which again, you always get these trolls that come in here. He's a bunch of boomers talking about lines on a chart, then goes pushing 50, talking like bums about some charts. Listen here, buddy. I can make more in a motherfucking day than you will make in your entire fucking life. All right. So shut the fuck up. Be a troll and let me yap about my lines. If you don't like it, get the fuck out. I really don't care. Just point blank, period.
Nice lines.
Just remember that. I'm nowhere near 50. I do this for a living, and I'm going to trade off my lines while you sit there and work at the local McDonald's, which is okay. Hey, I'm not judging you. Everyone, we need people like that. So fuck you, and I'll see you later. Anyways, continue.
Just trolling from the bathroom stall at McDonald's.
Sounds like I hit
exactly. No, I'm just fucking with you As Away To. I'm just joking around, dude. I don't take any of this seriously.
We're having fun, all right? Listen.
I talk just as much shit as everybody else.
Oh yeah.
We can handle it.
You're all good, dog. I took a shot long here on NASDAQ in at 23.45. So we'll see what happens. Just looking for a little retest. Not going to break these highs, but just to go back to like 50, 23.050. Joe, I did catch the lows on this today off of your indicator, by the way. Should have rolled my stop up with it, but got some quick action and moved on for the day on that trade. So it was a nice start to the week for me in the personal account.
That's good.
That's
nice.
Good.
See, look at all these people. I'm just playing around with the other guy calling you bums. Yeah, I know. That's why I'm fucking around back with you guys. I'm not serious about any of it. It doesn't. That's the beauty of the internet. Everybody just trolls each other and kind of fucks around. Did you make any trades today, Brahma? You do anything fun?
Close some stuff, throw in the condor. I've been watching this TEM honestly for like last week. TEM, because I'm watching it on the 5-day here. It's struggling to get above it, but this thing will just rip, $5 in a day, and I feel like it's getting there. It just seems like it's kind of running out of sellers. I mean, I'm not looking to back to highs or anything like that. I gotta figure out an exit target if I do get in. But everything is just all the VWAPs are literally just in a cluster.
Yeah, TEM is also sitting at that VWAP from IPO, by the way. So keep an eye there. Might be a nice actual structural spot.
I haven't touched TEM. I think
another line on the chart for you.
Yeah, we love the lines. I got this one is the one Bloom. Yeah, so I got out of my July calls up here, and I'm still in November calls, but I'm in 22 calls. Like I've been in some around here. So this one just moves slow. It's not sexy, and I'm back in Celsius.
What's his pop here? Did he get news?
Yeah. Bloom it got an upgrade and some other shit. That's what the pop was. I think there's a couple of us that played it, and then I'm back in my favorite Brahma. This piece of crap.
Which,
yeah.
See, what is that one? Oh, Celsius.
I know.
I've been crushing those Alani New though. Like I actually did buy a case over the weekend of regular old Celsius, but man, that was a good buy on their part.
100%. Picasso says I sound gay. Listen, Picasso, here's the deal, bud. What if I am? Don't judge me. And then 2, you're the one that's been asking me for my damn Sierra chart book for like 3 months. I was gonna send it to you. Now I'm fucking not. Like, it's just sorry.
You have history.
See you later.
You have history with Picasso. That's funny.
No, actually, Picasso, legit. I can tell you where I got it if you want it. I'll let you know. I don't gatekeep this. It's not my chart book. Who that fine shit? Bruce. Bruce is back too, Smitty. So Bruce has been around for a while, Brahma. He loves to troll Lucci more than anybody.
Oh, God. Does Lucci react?
He says you're fine. He's calling you fine shit.
Oh, man.
Love it. I don't know,
this
man.
Is Brahma's first experience with our typical YouTube trolls.
Fuck, man.
They're all in full force today, too. Other than that, I mean, today...
It's a slow day, man.
Yeah, today was the grindy shit. So, I mean, this is, I think Brahma or Smitty, this is what you were talking about. Let me pull it up. But I think you did. No, that's not it.
URG. I can't tell half of these if people are posting tickers or it's just like Gen Z slang. Urogen Pharma.
So this is what you got over, right, Smid? You played this?
What's up? Yeah, I caught that right at the lows.
I mean, this was a monster scalp. But if you look at where this was at, this is 15 minutes off the open. Yep. It took a little bit longer for the profile to develop, but we had the magnet. I mean, that was the low of the day, and we had the magnet that I called out pretty much majority of today, up to here, 62.70. And then you see how we're just bouncing around it, just chopping around the high gamma strike. But a lot of it rolled off, which is kind of giving us potential for a little bit more upside, but not a lot.
We got
Bruce talking shit about Lucci. Juan is talking about Urgin. I don't know this name.
Yeah, I looked at it. It's the biotech. What's the story there, Juan?
Talking to Urgin.
ETH A, or are you talking about the Urgin? What is
the
this?
Eurogen. ETH A, I know. That's the Ethereum trust.
Yeah. Which, I mean, honestly, once they start rolling some of the profits from Bitcoin, which is, as we know, is kind of the cyclical nature of crypto. When it goes, Bitcoin runs, then the next big guys, then they go to the shit coins. ETH could have a nice little rally here, especially with that note. If you guys haven't read it, go find it from Bank of America, talking about the, getting some stable coin regulations so that people can use those to buy things on Shopify, etc. So talking about building that on Ethereum, which could be positive for that shit chain.
It made some good news.
Yeah, it does. I'm not a big fan of ETH at this point. I think the Ethereum Foundation is a bunch of fucking clowns, but join the circus.
Yeah, that's interesting too. Is Bruce always likes BMNR? I remember that one. I think Lucci shorted the crap out of this.
Yeah, Lucci short this thing.
And then he played.
Oh, and Newegg.
Nag. Oh my God! On Friday, Lucci he's like, I had the 5 minutes before the close. He's like, I gotta find short. I gotta find shares. Okay, I got 500. Like, just so many. He couldn't get enough of this, and he got filled his first set at 50. And I think he's still holding part of it. I think he only got like 1,000 shares though.
Yeah, this was rad. Who uses Newegg? When was the last time you bought something off Newegg?
Couldn't even say it right. He didn't even call it Newegg.
Yeah, I can't remember what he said. Like net.
Yeah, like Nestag or Neg or something.
Yeah, Nestag. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, that shit was hysterical. Yeah, he got short this, and then there was another one. It was a pharma name that ripped, like disgusting rip. Oh fuck, what was it? I could check my DMs.
A few people are in K-View and it bounced a bit. K-View popped and gave it all back.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. Hyperliquid, I think that's a great. I think the guys who built that, I used one of their old products. Really, really good team behind that. I am just a bit bitter that I fumbled generational wealth not trading on that when I had the time and means to do it. So, but I do think Hyperliquid is going to be a great way to actually trade on chain. Those guys are really fucking clever over there.
There it
no,
is.
I like the product. I think it's a good product.
Look at this thing. INKT.
What the hell is this, Joe?
Yeah, it jumped from $7 to 76 on Friday.
Damn, why can't I just get 1 million shares of one of these?
He shorted
companies?
this.
I know.
Well, why do you think when we talked about this before with Jay? If you look at the 13F filings for all these big wigs, right? All of the Druckenmillers and all of them, they all own these crazy small pharma names. Like a lot of them owe $7, $8 pharma stocks. I mean, just because they're playing for a pop just like this. And what's the other one? Teva. This one is Druck's favorite name. Right?
That one been in a massive range though for a long time, or did it actually break out at some point?
No, it's pretty much
on this range.
I mean, he's just been adding, and I think he slowly, has changed his position.
What's Gilead doing? I used to trade that.
Shit, I haven't looked at Gilead in forever.
We used to call it the Widowmaker.
Damn.
Yeah, Bruce. Hyperliquid's basically like a decentralized layer to trade. At least that's how I looked at it. Yeah. Yep. Fully on-chain order books. So it's and I believe you can do it like directly through your like MetaMask or whatever your wallet is. You got to go get it set up and then you can just execute right there instead of having to go through a centralized exchange, etc.
Is this their coin?
Yep.
Hype?
Yeah. Dude, yeah. And if you traded what was it I saw on Sunday? If you traded $1,000 worth, the airdrop is now worth like $4.6 million or something.
You want to know my best airdrop?
Yeah.
Oh man, they probably don't even have this anymore. This one was this one.
I remember that.
Optimism. When they did it, dude, this thing was a monster for a little while. Just a crappy chart now. There's Optimism and shit. What's the other one? There's another one I got airdropped on. What's the what was the one that was? It's like Optimism. It's a little bit different. Same type of solution though. Layer 2 stuff.
Good luck, dude. I can't.
Not
remember.
Polygon. Not Optimism. Arbitrum.
Oh, yep. Well, this NASDAQ short's not working out in my favor, or long, sorry, it's not working in my favor right now. But my Dow short's coming back. Just a single NQ future right now, just to entertain the masses. I've got
and I'll put it up for you.
I got 80 ticks on my stop, so
you're playing NQ.
Stop. Yeah, yep. Just for the fun of it.
Yeah, Brahma, don't feel like you have to take a trade for the front of it. We just make Smiddy waste his money, not ours.
Bingo.
I'll root for you, man.
Welcome to the casino. Everybody's a winner.
There's just this is nothing exciting to trade right now.
Well,
we might get a mock.
Yell at me about being a ding dong, so got to take advantage.
There is still an ass ton of short gamma at 6,300 because someone on Friday bought a shit ton of 6,300 calls. So if you get a wild mock, and I highly doubt this happens, but I'm just saying, if you get a crazy mock that pops us up, we flip into negative gamma around 62.95, then you might have some trading to do. But I would put the probability at that of like less than 1%, Smitty.
Fair enough. I'll take my
not to crush your hopes and dreams. And then Bull. Someone just mentioned Bull. Jay was talking about Bull today.
Juan, do you know anybody that has Bull? I don't personally. The only people I know that have Bull are ones that they violated the PDT rule on Robinhood so much they had to sign up for another broker, which was
my cousin has Bull. I recommended it to him. I am a big fan of Weeble.
There's a nice little pop on NQ.
But the only reason I like it, Brahma, isn't because of it is mostly because their mobile app. At the time, Weeble had even J pulls from it. It was just the best mobile app experience that there was. But I'm sure Robinhood has probably caught up to them by now.
I was about to say that was like Hood's whole thing, right? Is you could trade on your cell phone and just be a complete degenerate and never have to actually log into. I will take some of this TEM at the close, though, if we can get over this 5. It's flattened out, but it's just not there yet. This thing, like, I love TEM. It's made me a lot of money, but it can be finicky.
Yeah, so there you go. Bruce says he's using Weeble Desktop. Juan, their mobile app is way better. It has charts like real charts. Yeah, that was my experience with Weeble. I also like the fact that they are giving you 4% on top of your 4% to move cash there. So you can let cash sit there for 8%.
Seriously? Wow.
Yeah, they did a promotion on it. You had to keep it there X amount of time, and I think there was a max amount you could do. But
what's the other one? eToro.
Yeah, eToro. Yeah, I've never traded with eToro.
What's that
wow, that thing, they kicked the shit out. Oh, it's got a 9er on the daily, but looks like dog shit.
Yeah,
apparently they're pretty good though.
Bruce, are you short BMNR? No, you're buying BMNR. Public is the other one. There it is. Public. You guys remember Public? I don't think they trade on here though, do they?
Like, it's not a grocery store?
Publix.
Oh.
Publix. This is public.com. That was another one that was doing all these multi-assets. You can get like 6.1% yield on shit, it says right now. So someone that I know, Brahma, very wealthy individual, moved their retirement money over to Robinhood because of what they were offering for retirement accounts if you bought enough. It's just a disgusting rate. Like, it's just a gross amount of.
What are they using all the cash for?
That's what I don't know.
What's interesting is, you know, that Starbucks, they consistently have like over $1 billion in cash because of all the mobile deposits that are locked in as soon as you deposit the money. I mean, it's different with, you know, Hood, but because I don't even know how that would work, because Hood, it's not like they can lend it out and get more money, you know, between what they give you and what they get. But making more what was the coins they made, or what they're trying to get into? Those, you could buy a part of OpenAI or something like that. It was some
the crypto coin
they were offering. Yeah, but then OpenAI is like, we have no idea what this is. We're not. I guess, why would you buy it? Like, it's just a weird world, man. I don't follow crypto a whole lot, so it's always interesting listening.
Oh, we can make your head spin with crypto in here.
I'm sure.
I was rightfully called out by Madden earlier when I was going at Smiddy for his USDC shit. He goes, take it out of the stream. I'm like, yeah, it's probably a good point, but I'll just pretend like it's relevant to everybody else because I can. But yeah, that we got to do a pretty good conversation, at least in the crypto chat, with StackSats and about how they're going to do the settlement and all that. I mean, it's just unbelievable how slow banks are.
Mm-hmm.
That's the craziest part. So it's not like there's a ton of speed that I guess they have to beat them. But when everyone looked at blockchain, they're like, oh, it's going to beat MasterCard and Visa and transactions and X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, I don't fucking think so. Sorry. Not with the current setup of blockchain.
Why does it take 5 to 7 days for me to get a refund on my card? Like,
because of how slow the system is what their argument was. Are you still short, Smid, or are you long?
No, I'm long. A little underwater here, but we'll hang out. We got room.
We'll hang out.
See what happens.
I mean, this is all entertainment cost.
I got my target of that 50 level and it wasn't quick enough to take it. So might get stopped here. Whoops.
Yeah, the settlement period is what is brutal. Like Bruce said, that's what StackSats was saying too. And I said, okay, that makes sense. And I get on the crypto side, it's faster in theory because of how much it takes to do a block, and you got layer 2s that can speed shit up. But one, how do they, the correct word I think would be obfuscate, right? People's information or their wallets, right? Because it's all supposed to be on chain. That's one. Two, how do you handle refunds? Three, what's the cost of the transaction fee? I'd be curious because there always is in crypto. I mean, Base is definitely the right place to build it on. 100%. Like it definitely is. But just funny because when I left the industry, Base was just like becoming popular. Like it just started being built when I was no longer working in crypto. But banks, Brahma, I don't know if you've dealt with a bank like in their internal tech, and what StackSats was saying, and I agree because I got to see it. They are so far behind when it comes to tech. It's disgusting. So in 2018, when I was doing stuff with structured products, like we were talking to BMO, Allianz, all these places, BMO is like, okay, if we do this deal and we take your tech for our structured products, the turnaround time to get it implemented was 2 years because they did everything on paper. They wrote it down on paper. They had a filing system of their structured notes. And I don't know if anybody's ever seen a structured note before. They are complex as shit. Like they're not like an easy thing to calculate or do. Like it's a very difficult structured product when it comes to the calculation of stuff. And it was just mind blowing, you know, how bad and slow it was. That's kind of the argument that people have, right, Smid? Right, of how it all kind of is shook out.
But it's got to be. It's not like they can take the systems offline to update them. So I guess maybe that's why. I don't know. It's just so crazy that it's one of those things that just never really seems to advance.
No, everything's just so far behind. I mean, this is probably a couple years ago. I forget where it was for. It was some type of bank or something, and they said, "Oh, you can fax this to us. We can't take it by email." And I'm like, fax? Like fax, like dial fax machine? Yeah. They still make those? People still use that shit? Like that's still a thing? No, you can't be serious. Like open a Proton Mail account if you're really like concerned about something and we'll send it that way. Or even when I had to link up my 401k for Fidelity, I just did this like to ACH. It's a whole, I had to fill out manual paperwork. It wasn't like connecting it with Plaid or anything. I had to fill out paperwork and send it to them in order for them to connect the account. And it took 10 days. Like Plaid's instant, 10 days.
Yeah. I think, was it Tastyworks? I think uses Plaid.
Yeah, Plaid's like instant. But just because there's a 401k and a retirement account, there's like apparently rules. And like, that is so dumb. Juan was like, what year was that? Juan, that was probably a couple years ago, dude. No joke. Like I'm not, just blowing smoke just for the sake of telling a story.
I mean, Joe is 50, so take it easy.
Yeah, apparently I'm 50 staring at lines and charts. So,
Juan, dude, no, I think that when you go in to get cash out of the bank, this happened to a buddy of mine recently. He was buying a handful of cars, like old Audis, and the bank wouldn't let him pull like 30 grand out. A lot of that has to do with how much cash they have on hand. But a lot of the time, if you do want to pull a big chunk of money out, like let's say you wanted to pull 100 grand cash out, you have to call it in anyways. So I've seen a guy that I know who's pulled pretty significant sums of money out where he just calls in, and even him, like, dude's got plenty of liquidity, but he'll have to call into the bank and say, hey, this is what I want. I'm giving gifts to everybody, and then they'll get it all bundled up for you. So it is common practice because banks are not really required to keep physical bills on hand like they used to, but it doesn't mean we're going to get a bank run. It's not going to be a thing.
Just bust your balls though. Like even a few months back, we got a 5090 from a scalper, which I know you're not supposed to do, but wanted one, and pulled out like $3 grand from the bank in cash, and they were like, "Why do you need the money? What's the money?" And I'm like, "Oh my god!" Like it's just weird. Like they were casual, they were nice about.
Like, hey, yeah, I'm going to the strip club. What the fuck do you mean?
God, it's like fuck off.
Yeah, I think 10K is that limit too, by the way, where they start to ask questions. And if you try to be cheeky and do like I'm going to get $9,000, $900, they'll still flag your ass, and they're obliged to do so. I forget what the bank regulation is, but anytime they notice stuff, they are obligated to actually flag that and report it to FinCEN. So it's not them just looking at you saying like, oh, this guy's sketchy, let's make his life a pain in the ass. But they do that. My thoughts on Tesla right now? No, I actually tried to wave at one of the fucking robo taxis the other day. I honked at this dude 3 fucking times, and he sat there like a fucking like this, just staring off into space like a fucking Zoloft commercial. So no, dude. So far, I haven't seen any Teslas crash or anything like that running on robo taxi. They're geofenced in my neighborhood. But no, man, my thoughts are, it's the hardest stock in the world to short. I think it's shit. Musk came out. Joe, I sent this over to you on Twitter, but Musk said he left the Tesla design factory and they've got something cool coming for the end of the year. And I mean, it's just the classic, he's a stock promoter essentially. So I think that he's gonna get away with it until it works again or it doesn't and it comes in. But I'm not going to be shorting it. I think it comes back, but they have earnings coming up soon, correct? Let's see. Yeah, 9 days. So I don't know, man. I have a hard time believing that they're going to beat. And I think they're burning cash at a pretty rapid rate. Last I heard one of the chief product development guys on the robot Optimus also left.
Mm-hmm.
So, when you see stuff like that, that kind of raises a red flag for me of like, yeah, what does he know that he's getting the hell out of here? But that could be a nothing burger, So tough to call that one. I guess from a technical side, looking at all the fancy lines on the chart, you're kind of hanging around the 200-day moving average. So it would, and all of the what do I got here? I think my SMAs are like the 21, the 50, and the 200 are all kind of pinching at the moment, and it's sitting right at it. So definitely a direction spot and a spot to kind of watch what happens from here. A break up, you could see, you got 350s in the upside target. I think they did buy it up on the lows, so tough to call here, my friend. But yeah, 350 would be an upside target if you're long.
Looks like the other one was about SMCI. See, Tesla, I'll dabble with, but I haven't touched SMCI in a long time.
Yeah, SMCI, that thing can rip though. When it gets news, I think they just short the shit out of it. You're kind of at a downtrend here. You'd probably need news to get through this.
I mean, yeah, look at the ripper it had back in January. Just whoop. But that was also, that rip was also before the stock split.
Yeah, well, in May it ripped 16%, and the next day another 16%.
And what I want to see is what do we have on the calendar for earnings? I think we have 2 big ones tomorrow morning, right?
Oh yeah, Citigroup and
JPM, Citigroup, Wells Fargo, and BlackRock.
JPM's tomorrow too?
Yeah, JPM and Citi are both in the morning.
And then we also have inflation data at 8:30 Eastern. So
this is just disgusting. It's just
might give us a little bit of a move.
Actually, a busy week. We had Netflix on Thursday.
Yeah, this is where Jay is gonna hate every single fucking sweep that comes into the game.
Yeah,
like, this is all
every
trash.
order has an asterisk.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
But JPM, banks have been on fire. Then you have Citigroup, which has seen a ton of call flow.
Banks in general have been a beast, right?
Yeah. Even Goldman. I mean, Goldman's trading at $700.
You know what cracks me up is Jamie Dimon even said, like, they're talking about share buybacks, and he's like, why would we buy shares back at this level? And it's just like, and then it keeps
that's
going
bullish,
up.
bro. What do you mean? If there was a buyback on JPM, I wonder how many people would jump into that at $300.
Oh, yeah. All right. I might take some TEM. I got to see what it does here.
Let's put up 10 while Smiddy drowned his NQ long.
I like that it's holding up, even with Nasdaq doing this.
Yeah, let's see if we get lucky and I don't get stopped out before this mock here. A little bit of gambling.
Yeah, I mean, depending on what it is, I mean, you're more than likely going to sit around. Actually, the range from a gamma perspective is a little bit larger now, but I don't think mock is going to really, unless it's a crazy number, is going to do a whole lot.
There we go. Raj, if you're listening, I'm going to shoot you a DM with that.
I sent it to him already.
Oh, you got him? Okay, cool.
Yeah. I only sent it to him because you sent it to me.
Perfect. That's what we need. Looks like I'm about to get stopped here on this. Yep, stopped out on that trade. No worries.
I got to zoom in here and see if we can figure out if I can call a pin today. It would have been 6270, but some of that gamma's rolling off. But it's just all short calls above. So that was the interesting part of what we've been seeing is right now between where we're at, you just have a shit ton of short calls above and a shit ton of short puts below. Everybody's playing for a whole lot of nothing right here.
Just a slow bleed. I don't know. So what do you guys think NQ and ES are going to do here? You think they're going to bust out of this range like with a big old gap up, kind of blow off and then reverse? Or, I mean, something's got it. We need a pull. Like it's going to pull. It's just, how long is it going to take? What?
That's what I was talking about with Madden today was, when we think it's coming, and his thesis is, sometime in August. I think McElligot's is also in August of some type of pull. I mean, to be honest, I think we just sit here and chop around in this shit for a little bit longer. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be surprised if they took out the high and got the 6,300 again, and then they, we start going lower. But
yeah, something kind of like back in December last year, early December. We got it again in January, where it just keeps bumping its head. Where are we at on the Bollinger Bands on this? Are we hitting them yet? Oh, we have some room.
Yeah, I would like to see. I mean,
I want 6,400.
I want to see blood, obviously. So, but timing the blood is very difficult, right? Very difficult. So, from my whole thing is I just listen to the smarter people and dissect what they say. And if I'm listening to McElligott right now, we talked about levered ETFs and all the synthetic gamma sitting there with how much they have to rebalance. We've talked about the short calls above that dealers are sitting in. They're also now short puts below because people now have enough long exposure that they have to hedge, right? So now you're short on both ends. That eventually, when we get the move, it will be violent. That is the kicker. And that's when I will be really excited. Because today's trade was actually an easy one, but it was really boring. It's not exciting for people when you grind higher. People really struggle with that trade. Shit, even I fucking struggle with that trade.
Yeah, what do we got? So we got VIX is still looking pretty
perky.
Pretty perky. Spreads are flat.
You'll need VVIX over 100 for sure. It'll be some sort of catalyst, right? Whatever that is. I think McElligott was leaning towards now it being some type of econ data, not necessarily Trump tariff data.
Oh, yeah. What do we have? CPI Wednesday?
Yeah.
Or no,
but
tomorrow.
I think because of the mechanical buying of vol control funds, which kind of pushed us up higher and a bunch of all this other stuff that I think he's still pushing it for a couple more weeks before he sees blood in the streets. But that's the fun of the speculation.
That's why we do it.
But what do you guys think? Right? I've given my thing, which is not really mine. I'm just dissecting somebody else's note, and I'm not that smart.
Just such a strong.
I'm 50 years old looking at lines on a chart. So.
Oh fuck! I love it.
My AARP. They sent me an AARP envelope, and I was 28. And
dude,
I'm
I didn't know that you could join AARP before you're 55 or 50. You can join it whenever you want.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Just go to the meetings in your late 20s. Hey, how's everyone doing?
You guys
Here for the donuts and coffee.
Now, to go a little off topic, Bruce, what do you want to know about the cost of owning that M3? Like just broadly maintenance stuff, the amount of money I throw at it doing dumb shit. What do you think here? What you need, player?
Smitty can't spend enough money on his M3.
Nah, it's maxed out.
But he
Joe.
wants to, Bruce, here's the problem, and I've been trying to talk him out of it. He wants to get rid of his M3. He wants to get a Cybertruck, and I keep telling him it's a really bad idea.
Get a Rivian.
No. That's gonna be.
They're
a
actually
big
pretty
for
nice,
me, dog.
man.
I wouldn't even buy a fucking car with hybrid bullshit in it. Dude, the maintenance has been pretty much nothing. Aaron, it's a 2021 M3 comp. I've done an oil change. You know, top off coolant here and there. They do get a little hot, but those G80s are tanks. It's tuned, exhaust, intake, all the dumb shit. It's got nice suspension that was upgraded. I will never lease a Tesla. I'll leave that up. John, you can take that one. You have a Model 3, right?
I love it. Yeah, Model 3 Performance, man.
Yep. Which again, super quick car. But no, dude, it's a great car. I love it. It doesn't cost much. You do go through tires. You can, if you want to drive like an asshole, you can chew those things up in the rear pretty quick. But the only thing I'd say in hindsight is, you know, I'd probably get the X-Drive version because I didn't know at the time, but you can turn the X-Drive all the way down and go full rear wheel only, which is kind of nice. But it's a great car. It's super fun. It's 30,000 miles, and I don't drive much, so it just mostly sits and hangs out until I get bored. But yeah, and I've driven, you know, my client's got a pretty significant collection of all the high-end supercars. So, you know, GT2s, 3s, all of that good stuff, McLarens and Lambos and the whole gambit. And this is a super fun car. You'll hear some people say it doesn't have a soul, whatever. But I'll digress because I'm boring Joe over there. Grandpa Joe.
I'm already falling asleep. Don't worry.
Talk about cars anymore.
I had to sit on 3 hours straight of calls before this, so I'm already falling asleep.
Same.
But I'm curious, Brahma, too. Like, what's your thesis right now on where we could go?
We need a guy. Honestly, with the lack of reaction to the EU news and all that makes me think, no matter what, because the thing is, like, you had the one Fed guy earlier. I was reading, he was saying, well, we're not anywhere close to cutting. There's no need to cut. It's very hard. Why would they cut when the market's at all-time high? The one outside thing I could think, intuitively you'd think it would be a positive, right? Because if they replace the Fed chair, that means they're cutting rates. But I also don't know, that could kick off some volatility because he's railing against Powell pretty hard. I don't know. I don't think tariff news is going to do it anymore. I think it's going to have to be some sort of massive data miss. I honestly thought the jobs numbers, just anecdotally, people I know, there's quite a bit of layoffs going on, you know, under the hood. And it's just weird. It doesn't seem to show up in numbers. I mean, that the government jobs that were all gone didn't really seem to have an impact. So the AI layoffs are starting to come in a little bit, and white collar jobs, it's pushing wages down for, you know, things like software engineering. But you're just not seeing it. That's why, like you said, Joe, it just seems really mechanical. Yeah. One of the notes that Jay posted was it was basically like, all of this has just been pretty much CTAs and vol control funds. So it's kind of like they're still they haven't been triggered. So I don't know who would have to sell. Funding spreads are still super low. Institutions aren't buying it. They never bought. So it's just, I don't know. We got a little dump going on here.
Little mock. Let's see what we got. Mock is basically flat. It's 200 million to the buy side.
Yeah. Glad I didn't take Tem.
Sully says, my dudes, the market doesn't believe in the tariff crap for what happened the first time around. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Taco. You need some, it'll be, I agree with what McElligott said. It'll be some type of economic data or something fresh that, you know, pushes all of this in another direction. It's just, it will be violent and catch people off sides. The thing is, though, is everyone's so macro bear. Like, there isn't anybody who's not a macro bear, and that's usually not good for a pullback either, or a sell, right? Usually everyone's all on one side. No one's worried about the left side or the tail risk. But this was the problem with this rally, is nobody believed in the right tail either. Nobody had exposure to all of this for a V-shaped recovery. It's what Jay didn't want. Jay was adamant, I don't want a V-shaped recovery because it messes the picture. Right, Aaron. I mean, that's the other thing, though. But once what we look at, or what Jay looks at, is once CTAs are max long, right? And this is what happened with the shorting of all of this, too. But what he says is when CTAs are max long, vol controls are max long, and they have no more buying to do, right? Then you might have some type of flip from mechanical side if nobody else is keeping it up. It happened on the short end of this, right? We dumped into April. They all started getting short, and then they had nothing left. They had no more dry powder to get short with, so they had to start buying again. And that's the mechanical nature of it. There's obviously more that goes into it. It's just something that Jay tracks inside the room and talks about.
That was so funny too. I remember at that bottom, we were all kind of like, wow, this is pretty sold, but we're all kind of waiting from the all clear, from one of Jay's webinars. And all he says
waiting for him to tell us to buy.
Well, all he said is like, oh, if you wanted to grab some stuff and tuck it away, now probably wouldn't be a good time. It's looking like we're in a good spot. That's as bullish, like as much
That's
of
as
a
bullish as
signal
he
as you'll
gets.
get out of the guy.
I remember on the broadcast.
You want to nibble.
I remember Brahma on one of the broadcasts, I had said to him, I was like, Jay, I'm going to start buying hand over fist when you tell me to put my buying cap on. He goes, put your buying cap on. I go, okay, well, giddy up, motherfucker. Here we go.
Yeah.
We're buying. Like, what are we buying, Jay? What are we buying? He goes, I can't tell you that. I'm like, well, then what the fuck? I want signals. I want you to tell me what to do.
Because he's out there buying $1.50 energy play, that
he's buying some underbelly shit. Well, the underbelly didn't get hit yet. I got this.
He did raise a good point though. Before the big dump back in April, he was, we were all talking, and it's just like there's a lot of stuff. We were never really in a true bull market. It felt like. I mean, you had industrials, you like companies like FCX that they were kind of in the same range. It was a very tech semi led rally, and I mean, that's where the growth is. So I totally get it. It's just I think people are getting sick of buying the same shit.
We've had a lot.
What do you think about China names?
Oh, China. Where's Ron when you need him?
I know. Well, that's why I'm bringing it up because he's not here.
Did you touch anything? Baba, PDD, any of that? What are they even doing?
I played a little Baba. I just scalped it. I didn't like when it broke down. I bought it Monday, end of June. I got a little pop, and then it hit the
Baba. I mean, you want to catch it when it gets hot like this. That's the one thing when these Chinese names get hit. They just move, man. They move.
I've
always been on the wrong side. Yeah, I've always been on the wrong side of it.
That fucking.
That's why I don't touch Chinese.
Piece of shit.
This was another one that people played.
Well, because they were sweeping up like tens of millions of dollars. And then I'm like, oh, okay, like this, why not? If they just kept hitting it, man. It'd have a red day. They hit it again, double the size, hit it again. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, yeah, like this is a no brainer. Like they were buying like Jans, like they had time. And then it just started it had one day that it just dumped. I think it was this June 13th one. And then I looked and they closed the open interest. And nothing gets me more pissed off when there's aggressive repeat buying.
I remember that. I had to look it up for you.
Shit out. And I'm like, is this the market maker just selling me shit?
Those were January's, right?
Yeah, they had time. I closed mine out because I'm like, you know what? If they're gone, and then what does it do? Was it due last Thursday? Is it Thursday? I don't know. It ripped back up to over 19. I was like, oh, you're kidding me. I took a 10K loss on that. Could have gotten out probably a break even.
That was one of the first times when I've had looked up a contract that was 6 months or longer out, and that someone closed it within a day of opening it with size.
Yeah, and they did it with
very
Baba too. They were closing some of the Baba. They still there was still open interest on the line, but the bulk of the size have been closed. I'm like, what are you guys doing? Why are you buying in such size so far out and then trading them like they're weeklies? But I'm guessing the chart wasn't doing what they thought it would do, which I can expect that. Oh man, they're kicking the shit out of Temin to close.
Hey, you pulling the trigger on it?
Nope, it didn't get over the 5-day. Dude, these level up. I don't. Can I
Love it.
mention like a?
Yeah, of course you
Love
can.
it. These tools. Oh my god, these level up tools are legit. Yeah, this 5-day line, I've been messing with it a bit just to kind of get the colors and all that I want, but it's really keeping me from, because I'm been writing a lot of premium, basically being like, okay, like if we're getting above these lines, like we're getting some strength, got to close out my call rates. Um, I'm really liking, again, going back to UNH, because this is kind of this is a new strategy for me, is this kind of like trading the post and all that
Ron does.
Ron kind of does, and I'm kind of
Just
putting
look
my
at
own take
this.
on it, because I'll short shares, on a red day, and then usually on green days try to sell calls into strength. But I'm liking like just doing a condor, and my plan right here is what did I sell? I sold the 295s because that was the year-to-day low VWAP, and then puts, and then calls. I sold the. Let me zoom out here. I'm not too short of a time frame. I sold the 310s because I wanted something near the month-to-date VWAP, which is 308.36. So my plan with the condor, anyways. Oh, go ahead.
I played condors on this when we got squeezed. I got squeezed hard.
Well, see, I made a lot on my leap, and I actually rolled it because we got like $20 that day. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking roll this thing. Like, why wouldn't I? But I had 335s. I had written for $1 out of the money, and we got that. And like a dumbass, I could have bought shares and delta hedged the rights, but I didn't. And it closed them out, and then the next day it dumped, and I'm like, wow, those would have been completely out of the money again, and you would have been fine. But I'm trying to avoid that now, so I'm doing the condor, and basically if we get up to before expiration, of course, if we get up near that month-to-date VWAP, I'm going to close my long calls, and then just leave the short leg on there for a pullback, because I already have my leaps that'll spread it for me. We're gonna try that out. I don't know. I'm obsessed now with the idea of like having premium on there every week, just burning away.
I love it.
I love
Welcome
it.
to the game. Selling premium is the best. That's what I did more than I did longing anything. I mean, now Lucci is, and I've been doing it a little bit more. We do a little bit more degen shit, and we sell 0 DTE premium.
You got to do it for the chat.
Got to do it for the group. A little pop here at the indexes end of day. I don't think we're gonna be able to go much further. We should pin exactly where I thought we would.
They're just pissing off everyone. Long, short. I mean, who's making money? You're trading like what, massive size for a few ticks.
Yeah. So I got this is for Brahma on UNH. I traded a condor on this, right? And I got fucked.
What were your wings?
I was up here, and I did it aggressive. I did a little more aggressive, but I was selling it when I was around here. I think I did up to about it was the 320s. I think I was down here at like the 292 and a halves. I go pull it up, but no, it was 317s. I had 317s or 317 and a halves. And I was an aggressive condor, and I told Ron, and Ron's like, "You're really getting aggressive," because I did the same thing with Apple. I got really aggressive on Apple too, and he liked the name. He liked both of them. But when they broke this, I morphed right here on this day, and it ended up being okay. Like I ended up getting didn't get absolutely killed because I morphed early enough to be able to make some of that run up. But bro, it was painful for a little while, right? Because it was a completely false breakout. Like all of it was completely false. And the same thing even happened on Apple. I took an aggressive strike, and it ended up working in my favor, but it was tough. I mean, Smiddy, how many you got faked out on this too, right here in this candle?
Yeah, that's where we probably should have booked. We were up $1 million and change. I did close my Dow short, by the way. That was the client there on that call. Not going to sit in front of inflation data. Not going to take that gamble this time.
And where did we pin, Smid? Just say it with me. Where did we pin?
62.70.
Say it with me. Where did we pin?
62.70. Yeah, here, Joe. Can I share really quick? I don't know if I.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure. Share up. This is not even what my charts look like. No one likes my candy cane charts, so I always show these ones.
Candy cane.
Let me remove.
Give me tips. Yeah, okay. So this is why I like the level up one.
You got an ultra wide too, don't you? All right, perfect. Let me do that.
Yeah, my monitors all.
Yeah, same.
I'm an idiot because I need arms now, and I like the arms are made for like normal size monitors, so I have like two widescreen ones. It's stupid. Anyways,
dude, I got shit. I have that too. I have I have all ultra wides. I'll send you what I got. It's really, you like it.
Okay, yeah. Let me know, because at this point I'm like the mounts are gonna cost as much as one of the monitors. It's pissing me off.
Yeah.
But no, because so I was writing the calls here. I think I had rolled down. But anyways, I like this because this is that 5-day, and it's sweet because I don't know. I was watching the videos the guy was talking about it. I guess it's different than a 5-day moving average because it's literally 5. I don't know. Anyways, it's a smoother line, but basically long above, short below. But it was. I had 335s right here, and if I had just used my plan right now is basically if it's below the line, I'm just trying to keep it simple. But anyways, like I'm short calls. I mean, I have a condor now, but I was short calls. So under this, we bumped up against it. If it goes green,
what
I'll
wings
close them.
Were you playing?
But, so right now, I sold the 310s. So I'm up here because I think this is going to be an issue. If we get up here, and then I sold the 295s because the year-to-date low VWAP, which is what we've been holding, is down here. So if we break it, I'll cover my short call or short puts, short shares, and then just ride it out. And then same thing on the other side. If we get up to 210, cover my long or sell my long calls, and then ride out the short calls to see if we actually do bounce off that month to date VWAP up here.
Got you.
So that's my plan for the week, anyways. Because I don't know if this shit's going to do anything until
yeah, but you've been killing that. Been riding against all of it and killing it. Smiddy was too. And
trying, man. I
still is, I think.
Oops.
Well, for the longest time, I was basically just. I was talking to somebody about this. Like, I felt like I was gambling a lot more than trading. Like, it was working. Like, I think I have a good eye, I think, for when this level should work out. Trailing stops were helping with taking profit, but I didn't feel like I was letting losses happen. I wasn't like getting in there and be like, oh, fuck you, you're turning red. I'm gonna short shares then. You're not taking my money. Right. So just trying to get a lot more like that. Although last week was okay, but the week before that I was over trading a little bit. I was trying to get a little too aggressive, and I ended up, it ended up being fine by the end of the week. But I was like, you got to chill out a little bit. You don't need to hedge every 50 cents here, man.
See, this is where you're getting me excited though, because now I have someone else to talk about delta hedging with. Smitty's already sick of me.
I was reading all about that because your iron condors, right? You can delta hedge those.
Yeah, you can delta hedge a lot of shit. I mean, with the indexes too. I mean, majority of what I do, as you know, obviously is index based, right? You guys are much smarter on the equity side than I will ever fucking be. But I focus a lot on the indexes.
I gotta jump real quick. Sorry to
interrupt. You're good.
I gotta hop on with Kelvin on a phone call. So I will catch you dudes soon tomorrow.
Hi, Smid. I'm gonna text you.
Thanks for listening. Yeah, please do. Later, guys.
Later, Smid.
So yeah, I was, you know me, I'm on the indexes, and there's a lot of the hedging that I do isn't necessarily like me hedging it or anything. Is understanding like how the dealers kind of position and hedge, and there's stuff that I'll do, but from the condor perspective and all of that, yeah, there's a lot of unique shit you can do. Smitty and I used to talk, when he was before he was only sitting in UNH, like before he was when he was a trader, now he's just a UNH bag holder, but when he was a real trader, I have to say this as he leaves. What a bastard. Yeah, but he would be sitting there in something. He's like, dude, my guy doesn't believe in, hedging anything. He goes, how the fuck do I explain this? And like, how do I even hedge it? So we'd talk about it at like nauseum, honestly. Be like, all right, well, you could try this. We could do this. We could do that. There's so many different ways that you can do it. It's just like, he could never explain it to the guy because the guy's like, but if I hedge and then the hedge doesn't work and I go up, why would I
limit my profits?
Yeah. And I'm like, the hedge is to protect you, homie. Like that's all it is. You could think of it as a way to, just pretend like you're never going to win on it, in some capacity, if you really need to think that way and like black and white so much.
But they own that you're doing more of that. Shares, like selling covered calls with how many shares they have, like 20, 30K
they have
a week
15. million in UNH shares right now. 15 million. And then there's no hedge. He started writing calls against it at one point, and then I think
is he not doing that anymore?
I don't know if he is. Last time I asked, I don't think he's doing anything with it. I think he's so frustrated with the position that he's just.
You're sitting in a range. I mean, but I get it. Like you have this guy harping on you and every other thing, but
yeah, that's the tough part about when you're not running your own cash, right? You can't just make your own decisions sometimes, and I feel for him on that. But when they were rolling last year and just long and shit getting in and out, but what ended up happening is on that day that we popped, they tried to get out. I don't know if he told anybody this yet, but he tried to get out of the position or was going to, and he was talking to the guy on the phone right on that pop day. It was like 326 or 320 something. He's like, all right, we can get out of it. Well, the problem is the guy didn't like answer until like after the close. And he's like, they talked during the day, and he was like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll hold it a bit longer, like a little bit longer. And then they talked again after the close, and the guy's like, actually, you know what? Sell the whole position. And Smiddy goes, you want me to offload $15 million in after hours? There's no chance. We can't. Like, it won't happen. And that's what ended up happening. Now they've been sitting in it since it went up to 326 all the way back down to 300.
Yeah, and it to the cent. Like, what did it top out at?
326.55.
326.50. Okay, so I guess a little higher, but it hit the year-to-date high VWAP, and that was it. And that's why I rolled, because I'm like, what? It gives you $20 in a day, and you're not going to like roll it?
Yeah, you got to. That was a monster move day, and then they completely reversed the entire move and some the next day.
Yeah, well, I got. Yeah, and I actually had added a little bit, like halfway. Where did I add? Like 315. So I'm actually again a little underwater on it, but I've been writing on it, so it's fine. But
this is cool. I'm excited that you're diving into the delta hedging world.
Yeah, well, and it's not a super high, beta stock. It's actually, I think it has a negative. Yeah, it does have a negative beta. That's another thing too. Like I was gonna, as we talked, with Ronch and that a bit, like because this is when he's in too, being like, do we need to do this differently because we're in a technically defensive name?
Right.
Like, sure, we think it's underpriced, but do we need the market to sell off to get a true bid? Because if you remember that day that it popped, NQ was down almost 1%.
Right.
So I'm wondering if we're going to need some sort of market volatility.
Yeah, they rotated into all those names. That was the rotation day. They rotated right back out of
one day.
Yeah, they rotated right back out the next day.
Yeah. So we'll see. But I'm really just using this time and this name to kind of get the system working for me, get my mind working that way.
Yeah.
I'm much better at reading tape now at some of these resistance levels. So it's been cool. Like it's been a really good, profitable year, but I'm learning a lot too. Yeah, it's been sweet,
don't
man. It feels
downplay.
good.
You can tell the world you've had a banger year. You've earned it.
Yeah, it's been good, and hasn't been doing. There was some dumb stuff in there, but it hasn't been dumb luck. Like I don't ever want to be in a situation where 50% of my yearly P&L was, because I threw 30K at something on an earnings play and it doubled. Like, that's not sustainable.
This is very, very specific. I mean, there's been a lot of really good stock picking. It's been a stock picker's market with the rotations, right? And then, you're dabbling more into Ron's school of thought, which you have the account size to do now, right? Like the one thing about Ron's trading strategy, and he'll always say it, it's really difficult to fully implement it unless you have the size to adjust. Right.
Yeah.
It can be really difficult without it, unless you're obviously taking a smaller play and you're like willing to be like, yeah, I'm going to take a condor and I'm going to do one contract. Right. Like, okay, fine. You're dabbling. You're trying to understand it. But if you're taking the full size of what he's saying, got to have some cash to kind of throw around to manipulate them.
Yeah. And he's still, he has much bigger account than a lot of people. And he's like, oh, yeah, I'm thinking about putting 250 in this one in some leaps. I'm like, yeah, man.
Yeah. Do you want something even crazier?
Small cabin.
We've had these like fly plays that we've been playing Brahma on the indexes. This is how I know I'm like me and Lucia are rubbing off on him too much. But we've had these like, fly plays to play for, like today. Today was a perfect fly to 62.70, which is what we were calling in the morning, or you can get long up into it, right? When they've been playing out, he's been coming to me, these messages to me. He goes, oh, we could have made this was a 6x trade. And I go, yeah. He's like, I might fuck around and throw 100 grand on it. I go, on a 0 DT fly? And he goes, yeah, fuck it. Let's go. And that he was like riding a high. And I'm like, Ron, please, let's come back to playing.
Is that what that was earlier? What you showed me?
No, he didn't take that size
Oh
in that
my
trade. That's
God.
just him being in an Amsterdam right now. He did not take it size, but
The
now
red
he's
light
seeing it
district.
work so often that at some point he's gonna size up heavy, and I'm gonna pray to God that day it works. Like, otherwise, I'm gonna be like, ah, shit, sorry, Ron, my bad.
I know that indicator is no joke. But
Yeah, it's an interesting thing, but definitely a different style, right? Like that's why I've really liked working with him. Is I've gotten to learn a lot about how he trades and the way he looks at the longer picture, and that was great when I wasn't trading full time, even more so, right? Because you don't have to look at stuff every day. And back then it was an easier market too, right? Fix was like 12, you're just running higher.
yeah,
And then
he had the background too of growing his account way up, and then because risk management was non-existent,
right,
so like that's
yeah,
and like starting out, I had small accounts. I was working at Nordstrom, putting 5-10K in there,
yeah,
run it
same,
up to 30, and then like, oh my God, I'm so cool, and then to blow it up, and I'm like, you just get sick of doing that. I'm lucky I did it when I didn't have money, so it wasn't that
right.
big of a, it wasn't.
That was me with futures. I mean, the first futures account, I think I threw like $3,000 in it and then ran it up, and then had a big fat finger loss day. And I was like, shook the shit out of my confidence. And I'm like, oh boy, right? Because
What do you need for an MES? Like, what's the?
oh, dude, nothing. Like you need nothing. So to get so I trade with AMP, but most futures brokers are similar on margin. Overnight margin, different story. You need like 25 grand to hold one ES contract, like 30 grand for NQ. Intraday margin on ES is $400 a contract, or $1,000 for NQ. So if you go to micros, right? If you're trading like a 1 micro, it's 1/10 of that. So it's $100 for an NQ. It's $40 for an ES contract. So, it's not much margin. So if you put in like 2-3 grand into a futures account, there's no PDT, and I can sit there zipping around one NQ contract, making $500, $600, $700 a clip. I was like, oh, this game's easy, until I had a fat fingered mistake where I went hella long contracts. I thought I was still in the sim. Because I use Sierra chart. I kid you not. This is what happened. I use Sierra chart to trade, and they have a different way of laddering, like trailing stops or like profit takes and all of that. And what ended up happening is I always like to trade it with size, like just to kind of see it move, and like the way the fills would work, right? As I added more size to my stuff. Well, usually it always starts on sim, and I have like a hotkey to swap it to open. Well, I kind of fucked up and didn't realize I was still on sim, and I took the setups, and it wasn't even like a spot to trade. I was testing out to make sure the functionality of my trailing stops would work. So it didn't matter where I took it. I just want to see it work. Yeah, that was like a $6,000 mistake in about 5 seconds. Like just instant. Like it just instantly went against me. It was like the worst timing ever. And I was like, fuck. Well,
everybody's had those experiences. You meant to buy long or meant to sell, and you end up shorting it.
Yo, I've done that trying to close out shit. It took me a little while. Like there's times too where I'm like, oh yeah, buy at the bid. And then I'm like, wait a second. That's not, nope, I don't need to do that. Like I'm trying to short this. What do you mean? Why would I buy at the bid? Right. Or, you're trying to close something out, but it's just mostly like brain fart moments. And then it is what it is. But
yeah. And I've been liking scalping equity a lot. I do appreciate the 0-day options do a pretty like not bad spreads.
Sure.
But I don't know, like it's much harder, at least on most names, unless it's super liquid, like Apple, like, when we all were trading that, like they're tight spreads, but a lot of these names, like they got pretty big spreads. So plus
yeah, the
like
equity was an unlock for you. You've been a lot better when you started moving to the equity side, right?
Oh yeah. Well, again, risk management with it, like trailing stops, putting in limits, you can sell part. I don't know. It's just so much easier. And like even TEM, like, let's see what it's doing right now really quick. It's up a little bit. The amount of times I've bought TEM at the close and then sold it for $1 after hours, it's not huge size. It's like a couple thousand shares, but like if they want to give me, $1 after hours on no liquidity, like sure, take my shares. Like this is cool.
Size is always relative in this game too. That's one thing that people always got really hung up on, and something that I had to change a lot too in my own thinking was, not realizing that if you made 500, I always use the same analogy. You probably heard this before from me saying it, but for those listening, $500 a day in a trading day, that's significant if you do that every single day. Now, again, you're not always going to, but I had to get past the mentality of like, when you see someone in the room, like that's been trading a long time and they're up, oh, I just made 40 grand a day. You're like, I want to be that person. And then you start sizing into shit to try to get there and you end up getting your ass smacked, right? That's usually what happens. So, you know, it's a mentality flip. Like it's all relative to the person. And some people always kind of forget too that, you know, $500 to $1,000 a day is more than what most people make in an entire, you know, year when you compound it. So
yeah, well, that's the thing. It's funny how like the trader kind of mindset, you could take, you know, lose $1,000 or something in a day. I'm like, oh man, that sucks, you know, but not a big deal. We'll get back at it. And then I get a toll bill in the mail for $20. I'm losing my mind. Like,
oh yeah, you're right. I'm the same way.
And it's just so funny how like it's
what do you mean
detached.
my beer costs $10? I'm not paying $10
This is
for beer.
outrageous.
Meanwhile, I lost 1,500 trading NQ.
I don't know. It's warped. I know some people like they'll actually keep some money on their desk and stuff like that, like to like kind of be like, this is real. It's not just you know, a video game with numbers.
Yeah.
And I'm really bad about pulling money out. Like I leave it all in my account. That's something I'm working on too, because I'll feel guilty, you know, taking money out of my account. Cause I'm like, I'm trying to, you know, I got this number in mind. But I gotta do that too. You gotta reward yourself a little bit, because then you can take a loss on something and be like, I should have taken some out. That was stupid.
Absolutely. 100%. And that's where a lot of people that do the funded accounts too. It's like they pretty much tell you should take a payout. And I was like, yeah, you absolutely should. Right. You know, having some system in place. I know some people have a hard, fast line. Once it's above, they pull X amount out. But I'm with you too. Like, it's like, all right, well, the more I have in here, the more leverage I got. I can, you know, instead of making 100 grand this year, and now that I have all this size, I might make 500 grand or I might make $1 million. That was always the hard part, even for me too. I'm like, the more in the account, the more I feel like I can add size. It's like a mental thing more than anything, right? Like, oh, I have the cash shares, don't matter. Fucking size up. What do you mean? You know, I can go along 100 lot of 0DT SPX contracts. Fuck it.
Yeah. I don't know. I've been debating at the end of the year, just basically starting next year with what I did this year, because it was more than enough to do what I need to do. And I get in the habit of trading my P&L, and then I start to get psychological levels in my head that it's like, well, my account closed at this, but now I'm at this, like, you know, like I got to get back. So I almost get these almost like resistance lines in my P&L, not on the charts, but on my P&L, and then it gets stuck in my head. So I don't know.
I'm with you. Yeah, everybody's different, that's for sure. But anyways, I appreciate you hopping on. This was great. You should do this more often with us, Brahma.
Yeah, I'm down, man.
It's always
Shoot
a pleasure.
Me an invite. I'm on the West Coast,
so
this is lunchtime. We're good.
Yeah. Always a blast. If for those listening, if you want to hang out more with Brahma and Smiddy, you know, Jay, Ranch, and all of them in the room, you know, you can go to STEAMROOMTrading.com, check out the membership. If you are interested in listening to me and Lucci YOLO 0DTEs and helping you grind up your, you know, your futures accounts or any of your funded sims, we talk a lot about dealer positioning and gamma. We have tried and true, back tested, you know, scalping methods that we do. Head over to STEAMROOMTrading.com/0day and try out our 0-day product. That's where me and Lucci are usually hanging out and having fun on the index trading. So got something for everybody. And Brahma, as always, thanks for hanging out. We'll get you back on here again. And everybody else, thanks for tuning in.
Thank you. Have a good one.